What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. What's up? I have a different type of video today because I'm not going to be reviewing any products or talking about any products, but instead I'm going to be comparing products, and the products that I'm comparing are going to be two cameras. So recently, you guys know that I picked up the FX30. All my last, 2 or 3 videos have been about the FX30. I'm actually using the FX30 to record this video right now, but in this video, I'm going to be comparing it to another camera that is a crop sensor camera and is relatively new and is pretty good at video. By pretty good, I mean really, really good. And the camera that I'm talking about is the Fuji XH2S, I think. XH2S? Sounds about right. So I'm going to be comparing the FX30 and the Fuji XH2S because my friend Ryan recently picked up the XH2S, and it was actually his idea to compare these two. But yeah, Ryan recently got the Fuji and he wanted to do a comparison to my FX30, so we shot a couple of clips. We only kept the comparisons to the video side of things because in the photo side of things, because the Fuji is a more hybrid camera than the Sony is, it obviously has a lot more photo features than the Sony does. The Sony is definitely geared more towards video specifically. I apologize if you guys can hear my dishwasher in the background. It is currently washing dishes. I'm gonna go ahead and play some of the footage that we got from both the cameras without telling you which camera is which. I want you guys to go ahead and guess which one took which video in the comment section below. We have A and B. And one thing that I really was kind of just surprised at when I looked at the footage was the difference in colors. Like I don't ever shoot anything other than my Sony, so I guess I'm a little, I guess I've never really seen any other camera color science, but I actually really liked the Fuji color science, and it kind of makes me wish I had a Fuji, because fresh out of the Rec 709, I think it's just really, really nice colors. However, if you're shooting with 10-bit, you can basically color grade any camera to look like any other camera, and whatever. The only other cameras I've ever shot with were my Lumix S5, which also has really nice color science, and it's kind of starting to make me not dislike the Sony color science, but kind of wish it was a little bit more like these other camera color sciences. I really like the Lumix S5 that I have. It has really good color science. So this is your last chance to go ahead and leave your guess in the comment section below without cheating, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal which camera shot which. All the A clips that I just showed were all the Fuji, and all the B clips were all the Sony. And I was a little shocked at that because I actually ended up really liking the way that the Fuji produced the colors, the way it handles highlight roll off, and just overall the image from the Fuji I just ended up really, really liking. However, I do think that the Sony was a little bit overexposed. I didn't do any of the exposing. I left everything up to Ryan. And I know that a lot of people on the internet tell you to overexpose S-Log3 by 2 stops. Personally, I think if you overexpose by 2 stops, you're going to get a little bit of highlight clipping, which I did see in a couple of these clips. No pun intended. I personally like to overexpose S-Log3 by just 1.3 to 1.5 stops. I don't go anything higher than that unless I absolutely need to, because then you start getting some clipping. And although the FX30 has 14 stops of dynamic range, it's always safer to kind of retain that highlight detail, especially when the really harsh shooting conditions that we were shooting in, like in these clips. Now, we shot both of the footages on base ISOs, and the Sony's base ISO is 800 versus the Fuji's base ISO, which is 1250, I think, and F-Log2, which is what Ryan was shooting in. And in order to equalize both, we used a variable ND filter to try and meter them as close as we could together. Again, I wasn't in charge of that, so I don't really know why the Sony is a little bit overexposed. It might just be slightly more sensitive sensor or something. I don't know. But we were both shooting on 16mm lenses, and I was using the Sigma 16mm 1.4, and Ryan was using a Fujinon 16mm 1.4, I think, or 1.8. I don't know. I'll check. I'm pretty sure it was a 1.4 as well. And we were shooting at the same f-stop and then just exposing it with the variable ND. But anyways, the footage from both of these cameras I think turned out really, really nice. And I don't think you can go wrong in choosing either or cameras. But one thing that I did really like about the Fuji that I've never experienced with any Sonys that I have is that it shoots 6K open gate. So you actually get a 4:5 aspect ratio, or 3:2, I think. 3:2 aspect ratio. I don't know, you get like a more square factor aspect ratio because it's using the entire sensor to record, and then you get a little bit more resolution. And if you're doing a lot of content creation, I think this is really nice to have because it allows you to not have to crop in as much to get those vertical files for like TikTok, Reels, stuff like that. And you still can use your 16:9 because you just chop off the top and bottom and you won't lose any actual data. So it just gives you more flexibility in that sense. So if a couple of the sequences that I showed didn't match up 100%, it's because Fuji was shooting in 24 FPS, open gate 6K. So I did have to match that in post a little bit. Personally, I think I like that a lot more than anything that the Sony can produce. The Sony maxes out at UHD 4K, so not even DCI, UHD, and it only shoots it in the 16:9 aspect ratio. It doesn't do full open gate, which is a bit of a bummer because now that I've shot with that, and I actually personally really like the square aspect ratio. I think that's my new favorite aspect ratio. I know that's trendy right now, but it's also it's good for social media, in my opinion. Yeah, the Fuji does shoot in open gate 6K, so we had to line it up a little bit in post. Now, it isn't 6K open gate in all of its FPS. Once you shoot like 30 or 60, it does crop back down to 16:9. But the Sony is just always in 16:9, and then when you do go to like 120p, 240p, stuff like that, it crops in even more. So Sony's aspect ratio is 1.5, and Fuji's in 6K open gate is, I think, 1.3. So that was the only real big difference in these tests. Everything else we tried to keep the same. But yeah, just looking at the footage, I really like the way that Fuji handles its colors. I have always been a big fan of Sony colors, but after seeing Fuji's colors from the F-Log to Rec. 7.9 conversion, no color grading done, I just think that they look better straight out of camera. Now, I know that if you're shooting 10-bit, which we were, you can color grade it in post to make it look however you want. However, just having nice colors straight out of camera is always really nice because you don't have to fiddle with anything in post, and that's one last step you have to take, and I'm all about being efficient. So that was something I really, really liked about the Fuji. The Fuji had really, really nice colors, had really nice roll-off, it had really nice everything, good quality, and compared to my FX30, like I kind of preferred the Fuji footage, if I'm being completely honest. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like my FX30, but it was just really, really nice. Now, at the end of the day, it is also a lot more expensive a camera, and I don't know if I can justify the little bit more that I like the footage to be worth, the couple $100 more it's worth than the Sony. I think the Sony is worth, I think the FX30 is priced at about $1,800. The Fuji XH2S is priced at the mid 2000s. I think it's like $2,400, $2,500. I'll have the actual prices up because I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, this was like a fun little video. I just wanted to kind of check out both of these cameras' capabilities, and I kind of walked away from this a little bit surprised. And as a Sony fanboy, like I'm not locked into Sony by any means, other than the fact that I've invested in Sony glass and stuff. But I think if I ever had the chance, I would definitely try and experiment with some Fuji stuff because, yeah, this video was like in no means supposed to be like a super stringent test of any kind. I just kind of want to show you guys something a little bit different. I'm playing around with the new cameras all the time. I think in today's day and age, you can get any camera and you'll be able to produce the type of video that you want with just a little bit of grading and post. But seeing what different manufacturers offer is always nice. And I think that if you're still on a budget, I think the FX30 is still a really great camera to purchase. If you have a little bit more money and you haven't invested in anything, I think the Fuji XH2S is a good camera to look out for. But let me know in the comments what you guys liked and which footage you preferred more. Again, this was all just like basic Rec. 7.9 conversion. I didn't do any color grading to either in post. Let me know what you guys think about the Fuji XH2S and the FX30. If you were to go out and purchase one of these cameras tomorrow, which one would you purchase? I kind of want to see what people's answers are because I'm kind of leaning towards the Fuji, to be honest. Now, one thing to notice is this is like a very limited control test. Like we just shot a couple of clips. It wasn't anything crazy. I think I'm gonna do another test with like low light performance and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna do some other stuff with both the cameras to kind of show you guys a little bit more in-depth comparison of these two cameras. So stick around for that. If you guys haven't checked out my other FX30 content, go ahead and check out that on my channel. I've been loving this camera just because I shot with the Fuji XH2S. Does that mean I regret buying this camera? I still very much so love this camera. But seeing that footage kind of made me wish that my Sony did open gates, but it doesn't, and that's okay. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. If you guys don't follow me on social media, make sure you follow me at MoodyDarkRoom. That's on literally any single social media out there. I'm on there. Go ahead and follow me. Check out my photography and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I know this video wasn't like super organized or whatnot, but yeah, I just kind of want to show you guys some comparison footage with my FX30 and the Fuji XH2S. So if you guys made it this far, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.